I've never seen a server rack battery quite like this one before. I think you guys may find this one interesting. It definitely has some unique aspects. Let's get this unboxed. We've got some documentation here. We've got a cable that's labeled inverter, looks to be like a Cat5 cable. Then we have a CAN communication cable, and then we have an RS485 communication cable, and a battery parallel cable. Got a baggie of a number of different types of screws. Look at there, they even send you terminals for battery cables. Send you 2 parallel cables, and you can see there right at the end there are 4-gauge cables. And then a nice grounding cable. Got 2 long metal brackets here, and it looks like they've even included a racking system so you can stack multiple batteries on top of each other. And here's the battery itself. I really like the white color. They do make it in black, just so you know. So you got some nice terminal caps on the terminals here. Got a nice circuit breaker right here. Then we have an inverter communication protocol port, and then a battery in and a battery out for parallel communications. Grounding screw. Nice heavy-duty handles on the side here. Ooh, that's kind of a cool screen. Haven't ever seen that one before. Shipped at a 55% state of charge. We've got a reading on watt hour, it says, and then a reading on watts, our current voltage, and amperage. It's a very responsive touchscreen. You got a couple of different settings. Looks like we have an app that we can connect. And this is the first battery I've ever seen with a slider that adjusts the brightness of the screen. Coming down here to the little battery icon. Oh, this is where we can set our protocols, communication protocols. I don't know if you can read it. It's a little hard to read, especially on the camera. But on CAN, where you have Pylon, LuxPower, Solarc, Dye, Growwatt, Victron, Solus, Must, INVT, SunGrow, Goodwe, Sofar, Sortec, Schneider, SEN Energy, SMA, Magrevo, TBB, AISWE, and Hoymiles. RS485, we have Pylon, Growwatt, Voltronic, LuxPower, SRNE, Schneider, EPEVER, and PACE. You can fill out this questionnaire and they'll either give you a $50 coupon or they'll make custom to order the perfect length battery cables that you need to go from your battery to your inverter. It's obviously lithium iron phosphate, 51.2 volt nominal voltage, a 100 amp hour capacity with a maximum rated charge current of 50 amps and a max discharge current of 100 amps. 6,000 cycles to 80%. They specifically say that they are using grade A REPT cells. Alright, we are going to do a battery capacity test. We are fully charged to 100%. We're going to be metering this with the Victron SmartShunt. I've zeroed everything out on it right here. And you can see we're pulling a really close to a 0.2C rate of discharge. Okay, we just went off. I was right here and just got this camera rolling. You can see we're losing voltage. 95.9 amp hours on the capacity test on this DE battery. So just shy of full capacity. Let's run one more battery capacity test on this and see if we get any different results. Okay, take 2 on this battery capacity test. You can see we're at 100% state of charge. We actually have a overvoltage protection warning because it just barely finished charging. You can see we're still sitting at 55 plus volts. Our battery charger has a steady green light. Second battery capacity test on its way. You can see we're pulling really close to a 0.2C rate of discharge. Okay, it just barely clicked off. And you can see we're dropping our voltage, but 97.4 amp hours. So quite a bit closer than the first time. So fast forward a few days here, and I reached out to the brand regarding the results of my capacity tests. They responded, and this is what they said. BMS typically does not allow any cell to go below 2.45 volts, which is pretty standard. Our current specification sets the protection threshold at 2.7 volts, which causes the last 3 to 5% of the charge to be unavailable for discharge. Which checks out with what I was seeing where this would go and then all of a sudden just shut off at the very, very end. So if they let this pull all the way down to 2.5 volts, for the lowest cell, we could probably eke out the final few little amp hours we need for a full capacity test. So I'll let you guys decide if you think that it's a good thing that they are being very conservative with their BMS programming to ensure longevity of the product in exchange for a couple of amp hours, or if you feel like them not letting you pull the full capacity due to their conservative settings on the BMS is a deal killer. Let me tell you something I really don't like about this battery. That is the size of these terminals. They are considerably smaller than a lot of terminals are, and so trying to use These aren't like 4/0 gauge or anything. This is 2 gauge cable. Trying to use that with the terminal that I have. Now, granted, you can get smaller terminals, but the termination on the end of my cable here is kind of dwarfing the size of that terminal on the battery. You can see here, the ring isn't even sitting on this end of the terminal. There's actually a giant air gap there. Similar thing with this negative. I personally much prefer these larger terminals here, like I have on this other server rack battery. These guys have plenty of room here on the front of this case to expand these terminals. So to the brand, I highly recommend upgrading these terminals, please. And to my viewers, be aware that these are pretty small and minimal. Let's test internal communication with this battery and my 12,000 XP EG4 inverter. First, we'll tap this battery icon right here, and we're going to use the CAN protocol, and we're going to use Lux Power. It's a little hard to read in this camera, but Lux Power. Then you can see here in the inverter plug, I've got this communication cable coming up, and I've just spliced into the cable that is normally going to this wall mount battery, and that's going to come up here to the 12,000 XP. And you can see here in the 12,000 XP, I've set it to lithium battery Lux. And you can see we've got communication. This says 100% state of charge, and down here on the battery, we've got 100% state of charge. So next, we're going to push this battery with a heavy load as close to 100 amps as we possibly can. You can see our amps are in the low 70s. Let's give it some heat gun. 105. We have a warning here. It may shut down. We will see. 104. 105 amps still. It's running it. We still have the notice, though, of an overcurrent event happening. So this will probably run for a couple of minutes before it shuts down fully, just because we're barely over the limit. Still holding steady. Now we're fluctuating between 105 and the mid-90s because that heat gun is fluctuating a little bit. Can this support generally a continuous 100 amp load? Yes. Alright, let's test to make sure that this battery can charge at its full charge rate. And I'm going to go for the gusto. We're going to go a full 100 amps. Alright, we're pushing in over 5,000 watts according to the 12,000 XP. Down here on this battery monitoring screen, we can see we're 98, almost 99. There's 97, fluctuating just a little bit. Let's let this run for a few minutes and see if we have any issues. And a few minutes later, still hovering right around the 100 amp range. No error codes, no problems. Charging pretty good. So this can accept basically a 100 amp charge, no problem. Let's take a look inside this battery. There's nothing on the underside of the lid. So the first thing that jumps out to me is the interesting choice to put the BMS over on the side as opposed to the front up here. You can see each row of cells is actually in their own individual holders. There's actually an airspace between the 2 rows of cells. We do have a little hump that allows a little bit of expansion and contraction in the cells. We have a temperature sensor right here, temperature sensor right here. Notice that they're all labeled. We have another one over here and another one right here. They've kindly stuck these QR codes here on the top for us. I presume that is the QR code from the cell. You guys are welcome to pause the video and scan it if you want. Cells themselves are actually covered by this layer of plastic, just to keep them extra safe, I presume. However, there are cutouts here for the vents, and they've done a pretty good job with their cable management. Now, what's different with this style of battery versus others is I've opened up others that have a larger metal piece like this, and it has a little lip underneath of it. So a lot of this cabling happens underneath that little lip. This is essentially doing the same thing here. It's just not covered by that lip. However, notice that they have actually armored all of the balance leads, this black stuff, and then it comes out and it's just bare wire at the last moment right before it hits the bus bars. The armoring continues all the way over to the BMS right here. You can see this large bundle of wire has actually been wrapped up in that same armoring and cable management system till it gets here when the cables need to kind of spread out. You can see down there in the bottom the negative cables coming off the BMS. There are more of them coming off down over here, coming up, and they come over and go to the terminals, the negative terminals. And then obviously our main negative on the battery comes off. I like seeing these 90-degree connectors. That's very nice, just to angle that right down into the bottom of the case. Unfortunately, there are no markings on either of these cables that tell me what size they are. maybe 6 gauge, 2 6-gauge wires. Could be slightly bigger than that. Could be 5-gauge cable. Personally, I would love to see some kind of 90-degree adapter of some variety coming off this breaker, just so that these cables aren't just wedged down in here like they are. We've got a copper jumper bus bar between the two packs. And this is the BMS board. Now take note, we've kind of got a double-decker situation going here. So we've got this board right here that is sitting on top of the main BMS. And you can actually see that the negative cables are actually attaching to the board on the bottom. I don't see any cables per se going to this top board. Anyway, someone who's smart about PCBs and stuff enlighten us on what this top board is with this big heat sink and other items. You can see that the terminals have a bus bar that spans between the two of them. And I appreciate seeing the QC marks on the batteries. You can tell someone went through, glued down every connector across the board, even here on the BMS. Also take note that there's actually an air gap back here and pretty robust chunk of metal. So it goes air gap, big chunk of metal, and then the cells. So there's a nice crumpled crunch zone back here on the back. However, if something were to impact this, the balance leads would probably get compromised because they are running between the back of this case and the cells. Potential short waiting to happen through those balance leads, but at least your cells would not be impacted as much. And then you can see over here on the left-hand side, we've got a large amount of airspace as well before you hit the cells. I think my biggest gripe is this right here. There's got to be a better way to come off here and get into that breaker. So maybe that's something the brand could look at and see if they could improve that slightly. But everything else looks pretty darn good. Let me show you how to put this battery in pairing mode. Come here to the little settings here. Tap up here in the top and this little blue light will start to flash in the screen saying it's waiting to connect. Then download the Tuya app, create an account, hit plus, hit add device, and you can see it's found it right there. And then it actually wants to connect to a Wi-Fi. And here's the app all connected up. We can see our state of charge here. We have control over our charge and discharge MOSFETs. We have information about if it's balancing or if it's in a state of protection. It doesn't appear these estimated time remaining measurements down below are updated at the moment because I am discharging here. You can see I'm pulling out 19.4 amps, just over 1,000 watts. And you can see that here in the app as well. Amperage coming and going, voltage, temperature, power in watts. And down here we can see the individual cell voltages, but it's really hard to see the writing inside those. And then we can see our temperature sensor measurements down here. Up here at the top, we have a way to recall any kind of error history. And down here at the bottom, we can change our protocols here for RS-485 as well as CAN. We'll hit settings right here. Basically, it's just general information about the battery, and you have the option of adjusting the screen brightness from the app, which is kind of cool. Tapping these 3 dots up here takes us to just kind of some general app settings. The biggest benefit would be here is where you could trigger a firmware update. So it's a very basic, no-frills app. It is a third-party app. It is not an app specifically branded for this battery, but it works pretty darn well and gives you the information that most people need. So let me show you how these included server rack stacking kits work. Up here at the top, there's a screw that you've got to take out and then put back in once you mount the bracket. And then they include these little pieces here, and that spans between the 2 rack pieces to lock them in place on the bottom side, since there is no screw on the bottom. So they didn't send me 2 batteries to demonstrate how it looks and works with the stacking, but you can kind of see that the next leg here would just slot into these nice metal casement pieces, and the next battery would sit on top of it in all 4 corners. Now, that's something I really like, actually, because server rack cabinets can be quite expensive. And if you're just doing a small stack of 3 or 4 of these, something like this that comes in the box, ready to go, so for easy stacking, I really, really like. So kudos to the brand for including those in the box. I think it's awesome. I need to hear your comments, and so do other people. What do you guys think of this battery? Tell us why you would consider investing in it. Also tell us why you wouldn't consider investing in it. That's going to help the brand get some real world feedback from you guys, as well as other people coming to the video trying to learn about different options in the marketplace, and they would love to hear those very thoughts. So please take a moment and comment and let us know. Generally, I think they've done a really good job with this. I would love to see larger terminals, as I mentioned. It didn't pull full capacity. However, it appears that there is a very conservative BMS, setting, which is causing that. And I think their pricing is pretty competitive for what we have on the market right now. There are links to this down in the description. If I have any coupon codes that can help lower the price even more, I'll be sure and leave those in the description as well. Also, down in the description, there will be additional links to where you can submit a guaranteed to be answered question by me, as well as book a one-on-one video consultation with me, as well as search through every description, title, and transcription of all of my videos I've ever posted on YouTube. So if there's a specific product or a specific technical question that you wonder if I already addressed in a video prior to this, use that custom search engine and it will find it for you. And that's available 100% for free to my viewers. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype the 5 free things that I really need your help with to get my videos in front of more eyeballs. That's really the only way that I can trigger the algorithm at the size that I am to potentially push videos out to additional people. I want to say a huge thank you to those of you that do that religiously for me. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you. You know who you are. Give yourself a pat on the back. You make all the difference. Don't go too far. I've got all kinds of fun stuff coming out here in the future. So stay tuned, stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next time.